the Eagles Pep Band, and you're watching CITV.
Hello and welcome to another edition of CITV Sports. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. It's Monday, December 10th, 2018. We're at the Plymouth Whitemarsh High School Pool in Plymouth meeting for non-league boys and girls swimming, featuring the Harriton Rams of Rosemont and the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials of Plymouth meeting. We'll have 11 swimming events and 1 diving. And we'll start off right away with the 200 medley relay in the girls' circuit. Harriton will be in lanes 1, 3, and 5. Plymouth Whitemarsh 2, 4, and 6. So in the 200-yard medley, there will be 4 swimmers per lane. Now, throughout the meet, we will be mentioning qualifying times for districts. In the 200 medley relay for girls, automatic would be a minute 52.25, under considerations a minute 54. Now we'll have the leadoff swimmers in. Each swimmer will do 2 laps. And they're off. In lane 1, we have Helen Kramer, 2, Maya Miramontes, 3, Tori Miller, 4, Alicia Cachadorian, 5, Lucy Grover, and 6 for PW Devin Moore. The school record for Plymouth Whitemarsh is a minute 52 flat in 2015. Lane 3 and 4 right now, close to arm's length. Lane 3, Tori Miller for Harriton. Lane 4, Alicia Cachadorian. And it looks like checking in will be Mandy Becker for Harriton. Harriton's first at 31.69, PW second at 32.72 in lane 4. So now lane 3 is Mandy Becker, 4 is Sam Suchlin. Lane 5, currently in third, would be Nazreen Boone. In relays, the scoring system is 8, 4, and 2 for first, second, and third in 6-lane events. And now far ahead is lane 3 for Harriton. Checking in at a minute 4.56 now in is Elena Rossi. PW will be second in lane 4 at minute 9.67 now for PW in lane 4 is Alexis Duffy. Third, lane 5, minute 13.08. Fourth, lane 2 for PW. Fifth, lane 6 for Plymouth Whitemarsh. Wow, look how far Elena Rossi is ahead of Alexis Duffy. And now the anchor leg. Final leg for Harriton, minute 33.51. Now doing the anchor is Tatum Maloney for Harriton. Now checking in is Duffy at a minute 41.11, about 8 seconds apart. And now Isabella Roberts is in. Harriton now has Soktidal Pumbeagle in lane 5. Wow, look at Maloney go. Tatum Maloney will check in Harriton first place, lane 3, at 2 minutes 53. So that's 8 points for lane 3. Second will be lane 4. Here's Roberts at 2:09.92. That will be 4 points for PW. Third will be Harriton, lane 5. Plumbeagle at 2:16.88. We'll pick up the remaining points. Fourth was lane 2 at 2:21.76. So right now, Harriton will be leading 10-4. Now the boys will have their turn in the 200 medley relay. So at districts last school year for girls, the top 8 times were a minute 44.19 to a minute 46.87. The champion was North Penn. But 2 minutes .53 was first, lane free for Harriton, so there's a lot of work to be done.
The order is 3, 4, 5, 2, 6, 1.
Now we have the 200 medley relay for the boys. Lane 1 will be unoccupied.
Event 2, boys 200-yard medley relay. In lane 2, Quinn Coyle.
PW last school year had a medley relay team qualified for states, finishing 6th in the district at a minute 36.98 with Caleb Kelly, Niles Rankin, Nick Fiddler, and Bill Gallagher. The Colonials finished 11th with that foursome at a minute 35.54. Harriton had a 200 medley relay team finish 3rd in the Central League at a minute 39.93. Probably would have come in first if Samuel 80 posted 2 seconds faster. So lane 1 unoccupied. So 2 forward, 6 PW, 3 and 5 for Harriton. So Quinn Coyle, Francis Cherisseri, Caleb Kelly, Jonathan Levitt, and Jake Weichel are the first to swim. To qualify for districts, you need a minute 41.18 for automatic, a minute 42.5 under consideration. First to make the turn is lane 4 for Plymouth Whitemarsh. And now that's Quinn Coyle. That's Caleb Kelly. Niles Rankin waits. Last year he averaged around 27 seconds. That's 26.16. Rankin is in. Watch out for Rankin in the 100 breaststroke. He holds the school record in that event. So second was lane 3. And Rankin already making the turn. Behind him in lane 3 is Samuel 80, who had about 29-second average. Needs to be quicker this year. Rankin getting ready to check in for Nick Fiddler. Right now about 55 seconds. First place, second will be Harriton's lane 3 at 57.60. And wow, it's a good swim for Nick Fiddler right now as we are minute 5 in. The school record is a minute 35.54 last school year. Right now going to the final leg with Riley Coyle getting ready to come in for PW in lane 4 at a minute 18.87. Looking really good right now. Well, it's really quick, a minute 27 on the clock. Second was lane 3 for Harriton, a minute 21.65. Now the final turn, PW's going to pick up the points right now. Now a minute 43, and it'll be a minute 42.92, just a little outside consideration time. A good run there for Riley Coyle. Second was lane 3 at a minute 46.19. Since all 6 lanes were not in use, scoring might be different. Third was lane 2 at minute 58.87. Harriton's lane 5 will check in 4th at 2 minutes 7.49. And 5th will be lane 6 for PW at 2:12.83. Nice run for lane 4 PW. 3 of those 4 swimmers were on the squad that made states last school year. Last year, North Allegheny was the state champion at minute 31.14. North Penn was the district champion at minute 33.12.
Results are official. Event 3, girls 200-yard freestyle.
Now the 200 free.
Sochi Krumbiegel. In lane 2, Maya Miramontes. Lane 3, Tori Mueller. Lane 4, Melissa Ely. Lane 5, Katie Lynch. And lane 6, Julia Kaplan.
So now we have the girls 200 freestyle. Hannah McGee has the record for PW, a minute 57.43. So we have Saketo Klumbiegel in lane 1 for Harriton, Maya Miramontes in 2 for PW, Tori Mueller lane 3 for Harriton, Melissa Ely in 4 for PW, Katie Lynch 5 for Harriton, and Julia Kaplan in 6 for the Lady Colonials. And they're off and running. To qualify for districts in this event, automatic is 2 minutes, .14. Under consideration, 2 minutes, 2.5. Lanes 2, 3, 4, and 5 are shoulders length from each other. Abigail Thomas made districts for PW in this event last year. Finished 36 out of 42 at 2 minutes, .92. First was lane 3 at 29.96. Second was lane 4 at 30.15. So Tori Miller has a slight lead on Ely. Now Ely is catching up. Lanes 2 and 5 trying to battle for third. It's going to be a matter of which fingertip touches first, about 1 minute in. And it's going to be by a matter of 1700ths of a second, a minute 3:11. First goes to lane 3. Lane 4 gets second on that run. So a couple more laps to go as we're halfway home. So good pace right now as we're going to approach 50 more yards to go. And right now Ely takes the lead at a minute 37.01. Second Mueller at a minute 37.56. Third right now lane 5 Lynch at a minute 42.52. It looks like the swimmers are starting to tire out as we are almost 2 minutes in. No record will be broken today. Already 2 minutes in. It'll be either Mueller or Ely. Who's it going to be? And it's going to be Ely. It's about a 1300ths of a second difference at 2:10.75 to pick up the 6 points. Lane 3 will get 4 points for second. Third, lane 5 at 2:18.29. That will be 3 points. 2 points go to lane 2 and 4th at 2:19.71. And 1 will go to lane 6 and 5th. So Harriton picks up 7 more. PW unofficially gets 9.
The results are official. Event 4, boys 200 yards.
So it will be 17-13 Harriton after 2. Now the boys 200 freestyle.
Lane 3, Sean Maloney. In lane 4, Justin Ruggiero. Lane 5, Michael O'Connor. And lane 6, Adam Denofa.
So we have Nafshi, Davis, Maloney, Ruggiero, O'Connor, and Denofa. 1, 3, and 5 Harriton, 2, 4, and 6 PW. So they're going to go 4 ways, 1 way, 4 ways the other. Justin Ruggiero, keep an eye on him. Lane 4, qualified for districts last year in this event. Finished 31 out of 42 in a minute 49.39. The top 8 in districts, a minute 31.01 to a minute 43.6. Andy Thomas of Hapoel Horsham was the champ at a minute 38.01. First turn is there. Ruggiero first in lane 4 at 26.05. Second, lane 3 at 26.67. Third, lane 2, 27.73. School record in this event was by state champ Matt Golubowski in 2005 in a minute 38.42. His brother Kevin Golubowski is the head coach for Plymouth Whitemarsh. So an athletic family for PW. Ruggiero is going to check in at the halfway point at 54.82, 56.53. Lane 3 is Sean Maloney, who came in 16th in Central Leagues last year in this event, a minute 55.52. Now there's another turn, and right now Ruggiero head of the pack by a couple of lengths, minute 20 in. This is a 6-4-3-2-1 scoring system for 6 lanes. Now the final lap here for the lead lapper and Justin Ruggiero, and second is lane 3 and Sean Maloney. Right now, 1:39. So Matt Golubowski's time safe for another meet. And the qualified for districts. It's 1:50.01 automatic. Now here's Lugero, who will check in first at 1:54.15. Second, lane 2 at 1:57. Lane 3, third at 1:57.93. Fourth will be lane 5 at 2:07.68. Fifth, lane 6, 2:08.04. So PW there picks up 11 points on Harriton. Right now we're going to get the final tallies.
The results are official.
And they are official. The next event is the girls 200 individual medley.
In lane 1, Isabel Boone. In lane 2, Alexis Duffy. Lane 3, Elena Rosie.
So we got Isabel Boone, Elena Rossi, and Emily Stewart for Harriton in 1, 3, and 5. 2, 4, and 6 for PW, Alexis Duffy, Abigail Thomas, and Emily Rhodes. Each swimmer is permitted to do a maximum of 4 events per meet. Now this is the 200 IM for girls. The automatic district qualifying time, 2:15.47, consideration 2:19.2. The Plymouth Whitemarsh record was set by Hannah McGee in 2017, 2:10.8. McGee is now a sophomore at Fordham University in the Bronx. So 3 and 4 right now at arm's pace. Lane 3 being Elena Rossi, Abigail Thomas, lane 4. Lane 4, Thomas, 0.02 of a second ahead, 31.25. Over Rossi at 31.27. Last year in this event, Elena DeSanto qualified for districts for PW. She came in 30th at 2:14.52. Right now doing the backstroke and the individual medley. Each lap constitutes a different stroke. About 1:05 in, now halfway there. And it's about less than a second apart, 1:07.53. First for lane 3, lane 4 Thomas for PW, second in 1:08.35. Third, lane 2 for PW, 1:13.03. Now looks like they were doing a breast right now. Now we'll touch the wall. Both seem to do so at the same time. The top 8 at districts in this event, 2 minutes 2.85 at 2:08.19 last year. Claudia Tham in North Penn was the champ, the state champ. Morgan Scott, actually Olivia Paoletti of Avon Grove, was 1:59.72. Now the final lap. And right now Thomas from 1:49.71 in second right now. Rossi at 1:58.3 for Harriton. And Thomas now gaining ground. And again, to qualify automatically, you need a 2:15.47. Now 2 minutes 15 seconds. It's early in the season, so plenty of time for improvement. And it will be Thomas getting first at 2:21.27. Rossi second at 2:24.71 in lane 3 for Harriton. So right now, battle for third. It should be Emily Stewart for Harriton in lane 5 at 2:38.59. Fourth goes to lane 2, 2:39.98 for PW. And it looks like lane 1 will pick up fifth, Isabel Boone, at 2:55.05, and around 3 minutes is lane 6 for PW, Emily Rhodes. Plymouth Whitemarsh gets 9 points. Harriton gets 7.
Boys 200-yard IM. In lane 1, Joseph Chalarisi. In lane
Now
2,
time for the boys 200 IM.
Lane 3, Quentin Stoloff. Lane 4,
We have Joseph Chaliceri in lane 1 for Harriton. Quinn Coyle, 2 for PW. Clinton Stoloff, 3 Harriton. 4, Niles Rankin for PW. 5, Samuel Eady for Harriton. And 6 for the Colonials, Dean Suchlin. PW in red caps, Harriton in black. And this is the boys 200 IM. To qualify for districts, you need 2 minutes free, .88 for automatic. Consideration will be 2 minutes 7 flat. Caleb Kelly last year for PW finished 32nd in districts at 2 minutes free, .5. And Rankin is first and 4 at 27.61. The school record for PW in the 200 IM. Kyle Lukens in 2012 at a minute 55.74. Niles Rankin has a part of a few records for PW. And don't be surprised if we break some along the way this season. This is PW's second meet of the season. Took on Lower Marion on December 7th, defeating the Aces 100-83. Rankin will check in first at the halfway point at a minute free, .1. Looks like it will be doing a butterfly or breast right now. So in second, it appears in lane 3, Stoloff for Harriton. These two teams did meet here in Plymouth meeting last school year as well. Rankin just a little ahead of Quentin Stoloff for the Rams. Harriton is a part of the Lower Marion School District. Now Rankin about to clock in at a minute 40, heading to the final lap. Minute 41.65 second right now. Stoloff at minute 46.17. Third, lane 5 for Harriton, a minute 48.28. All lanes are in use here. And look at Rankin. He'll be way ahead of the competition. It'll be a battle for second between lane 3 and 5, both for Harriton. Rankin's going to clock in first. Way outside the target time. About 10 seconds off the pace for districts. 2:13.96. That'll be 6 points for Rankin. Second went to lane 5, 2:19.79. Third, lane 3 at 2:20.5. Fourth went to lane 6 at 2:28.67. Fifth went to lane 2 at 2:31.12. And now coming on home in the 200 IM is Joseph Chalissery for Harriton to finish things off. PW here, I believe, will pick up 9 points. Harriton, I believe, gets 7.
The results are official.
2:55.46. Now for the 50 freestyle for girls.
Lane 2, Alicia Cachadorian.
This will be our final event before diving, I
Lane
believe.
4, Charlie
Girls
Tulio.
and boys.
Lane 5, Caroline Yagovich. Lane 6.
So Harriton, Rothman, Maloney, Yagodich. PW 246, Cachadorian, Tulio, and Handis. Don't blink. It's one way and one another. The PW record, Hannah McGee, 2014, 24.3 seconds. To qualify for districts, 25.3. Consideration, 25.7. Right now, 15 seconds in between lanes 3 and 4. Now look at Charlie Tulio go. It'll be about 25.88 seconds. Just a little outside consideration, so that might be good enough for Tulio. And now about 39 seconds. We'll wait for the results. So first went to lane 4.
The results are official. Event
Second,
8,
3.
50-yard freestyle.
Third, 5.
Lane 1, Francis Clarisi.
Fourth,
Lane
2.
2, Cameron Kuhn. Lane 3, Jake McLean.
Now the boys 50 freestyle.
Lane 5, Christopher Snyder. And lane 6, Riley Coyle.
So now for the boys 50, we have Chalissary, McLean, and Snyder for Harriton, Hun, Kelly, and Coyle for PW. The PW record, 21.02 seconds, 2013 Evan Shirkness. Now we're going to the final approach. Wow. Look at Caleb Kelly. It's almost 20 seconds in. 22.04. That is good enough to make districts. Automatic is 22.65. So well done for Caleb Kelly, who will pick up 6 points in lane 4. Job well done. Second went to lane 5.
Next up, diving.
And now will be time for diving, ladies and gentlemen. That will not be a part of swimming.
Diving coaches and divers, please.
First up here for diving is PW's Olivia Schaefer. Each diver gets 6 dives.
Scores.
There are 3 officials scoring.
5, 5, 4.5. Nicole Handel's first dive was a 202A, back dive, 1 somersault, straight position, 1.7.
Harriton's Nicole Handel getting her first dive. Olivia Schaefer got 2 5s and a 4.5.
Scores 6.5, 6, 7. Olivia Schaefer's first dive was a 201A, back dive straight, 1.7. I meant Isabella.
Isabella Schaefer is getting her turn.
Isabella Schaefer's first dive.
The announcer got the Schaefers confused. In 6 dives, to qualify for districts, you need a score of 220 for girls. And it's not about the splash, it's also about the difficulty.
2.5, 5. Siobhan's first dive is a 202A, back dive, 1 somersault, straight position, 1.7.
Now Siobhan Daly Gibson for Harriton.
Scores 3.5, 5, 4.5. Grace Lynch's first dive is a 201C, back dive, tuck, 1.5.
Now here is PW sophomore Grace Lynch, who qualified for districts last school year, finished 18 out of 18. Now she's back for her sophomore year looking for better results.
Scores
Oh.
7.5, 6.5, 7.5.
Very
Nancy
solid
Cass'
dive.
First dive's a 201A, back dive straight, 1.7.
Now we got the boys. We have Andrew Kraft for PW. PW will have 2 male divers. Aaron has only 1 male diving.
Scores 2.5, 2, 2. Hippo's first dive is a 202A, back, 1 somersault.
Right now we have Hippo
straight
Duche.
position, 1.7.
Hippo Duche for Harriton. His first of 6 dives.
Scores
5, 4, 6. James Zamicelli's first dive is a 201A.
James
backdive straight,
Zamicelli
1.7.
will be the final diver in our first round of dives. Now the PW boys diving record for 6 dives, Jake Kelly, 277.05 in 2016.
Scores.
And that will do it for the first of 6.
4, 2.5, 2. Olivia's second dive is a 202C.
Now will be Olivia Schaefer of PW for her second dive. Got a couple 5s in her first.
Four, 2.5, 4.
Just getting confirmation for James Zamicelli.
Dive, 1 somersault, tuck position, 1.5.
The PW girls diving record for 6 dives, Elizabeth Kiefer, 253.95 in 2012. Trying to improve each dive.
5, 5, 3. Nicole's second dive is a 302C, reverse 1 somersault, tuck position, 1.6.
Nicole Handel had a solid first dive, a 6.5, 6, and a 7. She would like to match those scores or do even a little better.
Scores.
That is not an easy dive to do.
6, 5.5, 6. Isabella's second dive is a 202A, back dive, 1 somersault, straight position, 1.7.
Isabella Schaefer getting her second dive, got a couple of 5s her first go around.
Scores. 4.5, 4, 6. Siobhan's second dive is a 103B, front, 1.5 somersault, plank position, 1.7.
Lady Ram Siobhan Daly Gibson. Highest score for first go around was 5. So a reminder, diving does not factor into the swimming scores.
Scores. 5, 5.5, 7. Grace's second dive is a 203C, back dive, 1.5 somersault, tuck position, 2.0.
Grace Winch got a pair of 7.5 her first time up. And she was a district qualifier last school year.
Scores. 7.5, 6, 5.5. Andrew's second dive is a 202C, back dive, 1 somersault, tuck position, 1.5.
Andrew Kraft had a tough first dive. Didn't get above 3. So he'll look to rebound. Each diver gets 6 dives. That might be a failed dive. The highest you can get is 10.
Failed dive.
The lowest you get is failed dive, and that was a difficult one to do. He failed it.
Hippo's second dive is that?
Now discussion at the announcers table.
402C, forward, 1 somersault. .402C, inward, 1 somersault.
Now here's Harriton's
Position 1.6.
Hippo Doche. His second dive.
Scores 5.5, 6, 6.
Pair of
James
6.
second dives a 202C, back dive 1 somersault, tuck position 1.5.
James Zamichelli of PW will finish off the second round of dives. Highest he got out of the free scores last round was 4.
Scores 3.5 to 1.5. Olivia's third dive is a 103C, forward
Olivia
dive,
Schaefer.
1.5 somersault, tuck position 1.6.
Has gotten a few 5s her first 2 dives. She's aiming higher, though, on her third.
Scores 3.5, 4.5, 4. Nicole's third dive is a 401B, inward dive, pike position 1.5.
Nicole Handel. Last dives, 2 6s and a 5.5. Had a 7 in her first dive. Here's Handel's third.
Scores 6.5, 6.5, 5.5. Isabella's third dive is a 52-23D, back dive 1 somersault, 1.5 twist, free position 2.3.
Isabella Schaefer will get her third dive now. Her highest score so far was a 6.
Scores 7.5, 5.5, 7.5. Siobhan's third dive is a 301B, reverse dive, pike position 1.7.
A very, very solid dive for Isabella Schaefer. Now Siobhan Daly Gibson for Harriton.
Scores 6, 3.5, 5.5. Grace's third dive is a 303C, reverse dive.
So Grace Lynch for PW will,
position 2.1.
will get her third dive. She has 3 7.5s on her first 2. Grace Lynch
Scores
looking to continue the trend.
5.5, 6.5, 5. Andrew's third dive is a 401C, inward dive, tuck 1.4.
Here's Andrew Kraft coming off a failed dive. His first dive had a pair of 2.5s and a 2. The boys' automatic qualifying score for 6 dives is 225 for districts.
Scores
And this will not be a failed dive.
5, 4, 5. Hippo's third dive is a 103C, front 1.5 somersault, tuck position 1.6.
Hippo Doche now for Harriton. The district champion last year for diving for boys was Sam Henniger of Abington. Set a district record in 11 dives. That's good for Doche.
5.5, 5.5, 4.5. James' third dive is a 102C, forward dive, 1 somersault, tuck position 1.4.
PW's James Zamichelli will round out the halfway point of his third dive.
Scores
Did not have a solid second dive.
4, 2.5, 4. Olivia's fourth dive is a 401C, inward dive, tuck.
Olivia Schaefer now starting off the fourth dives. It's a nice round of applause.
6, 5.5, 5.5. Nicole's fourth dive is a 52-21D, back one somersault, half twist, free position 1.7.
Nicole Handel's lowest score so far. It's 5.5. She does have a 7. Here's Harriton's Handel. It's a lot of splash.
5, 5, 4. Isabella's fourth dive is a 402C, inward dive, one somersault, tuck, 1.6.
Isabella Schaefer coming off a dive with a pair of 7.5s.
Scores 6.5, 6, 5.5. Siobhan's fourth dive is a 401B, inward dive, pike position 1.5.
1.5 pike position here for Harriton, Siobhan, Dale Gibson. Last year's state champs, or actually co-champs, both from North Penn. North Penn has dominated diving over the years, district and states.
Scores
That's Dale Gibson.
5.5, 5.5, 5. Grace's fourth dive is a 104C, forward dive, two somersault, tuck position 2.2.
So far, Grace Lynch's third dive had her lowest of scores. She has 3 7.5s. Nicely done.
7.5, 7, 6.5.
And that is indeed nicely done.
A 102C, forward dive, one somersault, tuck position 1.4.
Andrew's first 2 dives did not go as planned. Had a couple of 5s his third dive. Here's PW's Andrew Kraft with his 4th out of 6.
Scores 3.5, 2.5, 3. Hippo's fourth dive is a 52-21D, back one somersault, half twist.
Harriton's Hippo Dochette
Free position.
had a couple of 5.5s his third dive. And this is Harriton at Plymouth Whitemarsh. It's a lot of hang time.
2.5, 3, 2.
And it showed.
James' fourth dives a 103C, forward dive, 1.5 somersault, top position 1.6.
James Zamicelli of the Colonials will round out the 4th round of dives. Oh, that's solid.
Scores 4.5, 5, 4.5. Olivia's fifth dive is a 402C.
Did not reflect in the scores, though.
One somersault, top position 1.6.
Now here's Olivia Schaefer for 5th of 6 dives for PW. You have to follow through on your degree of difficulty and your positioning.
Scores 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Nicole's fifth dive is a 103C, front 1.5 somersault, top position 1.6.
Harriton's Nicole Handel will have her 5th, coming off a pair of 5s and a 4, after having nothing lower than a 5.5 during her first 3.
Scores 5, 5.5, 4. Isabella's fifth dive is a 54-21D, inward dive, 1 somersault, half twist, free position, 1.9.
Now Isabella Schaefer for PW with her fifth.
Scores 5, 2.5, 4.5. Siobhan's fifth dive is a 101B, front dive, pike position, 1.3.
And Siobhan Daly Gibson of Harriton. Harriton last school year had only one swimmer for the girls go to districts. None in relays. It was just an individual event. Wasn't in diving though.
Scores 5.5, 5, 5. Grace's fifth dive is a 403C, inward dive, 1.5 somersault, tuck position, 2.2.
There's PW sophomore Grace Lynch, whose lowest score so far in her first 4 dives I think was a 5. But 220 in 6 dives gets you to districts. And she wants to go back for the second straight year.
7.5, 7.5, 6.5. Andrew's fifth dive is a 1.
That could get you there.
Forward dive, 1.5 somersault, tuck position, 1.6.
It's been a rough day so far for PW's Andrew Kraft, which includes a failed dive. Nothing higher than a 5 so far, but he's looking to change things in his fifth.
Scores 2, 4.5, 4. Hippo's fifth dive is a 104C, front 2 somersault, tuck position, 2.2.
Harriton Sipple Nochette, a rough 4th dive in which his highest score was a 3.
Scores 3, 2.5, 2. James' fifth dive is a 401C, inward dive, tuck, 1.4.
There's James Zamichelli, whose highest score so far is 5. We'll finish things off here in the 5th with the last of dives to come after he's done with this one.
Scores 4.5, 3.5, 4.5. Olivia's final dive is a 51.
To our 6 of 6 dives, it's PW's Olivia Schaefer.
Free position 1.7.
Schaefer's highest scores so far has been 6.
Scores 5.5, 5, 5.5. Nicole's final dive is a 204C, back 2 somersault, tuck position 2.2.
There's Harriton's Nicole Handel to finish her day. Harriton is part of the Lower Merion School District, which I believe is top 5 in the state in terms of school districts.
Scores 5.5, 4.5, 4.5. Isabella's final dive is a 103C, forward dive, 1.5 somersault, tuck position 1.6.
There are plenty of chances throughout the season to qualify. Of course, you always want to get it out of the way, but you always want to improve each meet.
Scores 5, 5.5, 5.5. Siobhan's final dive is a 51-22D, front 1 somersault, half twist, free position 1.9.
Here's Siobhan Daly Gibson of Harriton. think she wants to correct the announcer. I think the correct dive was not announced for her.
Final dive is a 51-22D, front 1 somersault, 1 twist, free position 1.9.
You want to make sure you're doing the right dive, because you don't want to be scored inaccurately. That will conclude Daly Gibson's day.
Scores 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Grace's final dive is a 52-23D, back dive, 1 somersault, 1.5 twist, free position 2.3.
Grace Lynch can get some 7s and higher. There's a chance she could reach 220. It's her lowest out of any, I believe, has been 5.
Scores 5.5, 5.5, 6. Andrew's final dive is a 51-21D, forward dive, 1 somersault, half twist, free position 1.7.
Hasn't been the best of days for Andrew Kraft, but with 6 dives, you can improve upon each one. Here's Kraft's final dive.
Scores 3.5, 2.5, 3. Hippo's final dives at
Now the final dive for Harriton's Hippo Doche.
1.7.
After Doche will be Zammicelli, and that will do it for diving. Doche's last 2 dives had no score higher than 3.
Six, 5, 4. James' final dive is a 51-21D, forward dive.
Now the final dive of the afternoon, James Zammicelli of Plymouth Whitemarsh. PW's diving coach is Dave Stewart. He's been at it for a long time.
Scores 4, 4.5, 4.
That will conclude the diving portion, and we'll be back with our final 7 swimming events on CITV after this. And welcome back to non-league boys and girls swimming on CITV. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. We move on to our next event, which is the girls 100 butterfly. We have Bridget Tucker, Elena Rossi, Ava Kelly, 1, 3, and 5 for Harriton, Alexis Duffy, Mia Ruggiero, and Emily Rhodes, 2, 4, 6 for PW. So this is the 100 butterfly to qualify for districts. Girls need a minute 1.02. Consideration, a minute 3. Last year at districts, the top 8 times in the 100 butterfly were 54.8 to 57.41. It's 2 one way and 2 another. Right now lane 4 out ahead of lane 3. So Ruggiero is 29.41. She's first. Second, 31.58 lane 3. Elena Rossi. Third, lane 2. Duffy at 34.19. The PW record in the butterfly is Hannah McGee, 58.24 in 2017. And that record will stay safe for the time being, but it'll be a good effort here. Minute 4.05, lane 4 first, second lane 3 at a minute 6.43. Third will be lane 2. Minute 16:18. Fourth will be lane 5 at about a minute and 21. Scoring pads having issues. Lane 5 will be 5th and PW will be 6th at a minute 32:09. Since the pad didn't work in lane 5, we'll have to go to the score table. It should be in order. Lane 4.
The correct order is 4, 3, 2, 5, 1, 6.
So Harriton should pick
12,
up
boys 100-yard butterfly.
7 points.
In lane 1, Hatton R.
PW
Lane 2,
should get
Adam
8
Tinoco.
or 9.
Lane 3, Christopher Snyder. Lane 4, Nick Fiddler. Lane 5, Michael O'Connor. And
Now
lane
the
6,
boys 100 butterfly. 1, 3, and 5 Harriton. 2, 4, 6 PW. Got Armani, Snyder, and O'Connor for Harriton, Denofa, Fiddler, Watkins, or Plymouth Whitemarsh. Now the boys 100 butterfly. District qualifying time 55:02. Consideration 56.9. Nick Fiddler made states last year. Came 8th in districts at 50.88. Clocked in 10th at states at 50.77. And Fiddler right now lane 4, trying to edge off Christopher Snyder. Does 24.95. School record in the 100 butterfly for the boys. Kyle Lukens 48.97 in 2012. Right now about 38 seconds. Now Fiddler coming ahead. Fiddler's going to take first here. Already over 50 seconds in. It will be Nick Fiddler picking up the 6. Second will be lane 3 at 56:05. It was 52:89. Third will be lane 2 at a minute 1:01. Fourth will go to lane 5 at a minute 3:17. Looks like lane 6 will get 5th at a minute 3:1 at a minute 13:48 and a minute 19.6. Lane 1. So now we'll go to the girls 100 freestyle.
In lane 1, Caroline Yagardich. Lane 2, Sarah Thomas. Lane 3, Tatum Maloney. Lane 4, Charlie Tullio. Lane 5, Mandy Becker. And lane 6, Jessie Kaplan.
So now the girls 100 freestyle. So we're doing front crawl 2 ways to and 2 ways from. We got Yagodich, Maloney, Becker for Harriton, Thomas, Tullio, and Kaplan for Plymouth Whitemarsh. PW in red caps, Harriton in black. The 100 freestyle qualifying times for girls 54.76, consideration 56.1. That's for districts. Charlie Tullio is out in lane 4. I'm not sure if her pad actually went off. As Charlie Tullio right now is ahead of lane 5, Mandy Becker. I do not believe the pad went off. School record for the 100 freestyle, Hannah McGee 53.53 in 2014. That will be safe for another meet. Looks like it'll be 6 points here for Tullio. In lane 4 at 57.6. Second will go to lane 5. Everyone is in. The scores are not official. Everyone was in around a minute 5.21. Entering this event, tight score I think for the girls was about 39-39. Had to give a few points margin of error. The touchpad for lane 4 for Charlie Tullio did not work during the first
Correct
of
order
2.
is 4, 5, 3, 1, 2, 6. Event 14, boys 100-yard freestyle. In lane 1, Paul McConnell. Lane 2, Mark Lukens. Lane 3, Jake McLean.
So now the boys 100 freestyle.
Lane 5, Jonathan Levitt. And lane 6, Joshua Levitt.
So PW in 2, 4, 6. Harriton 1, 3, and 5. District qualifying time for the 100 freestyle 49.55. Consideration 50.2 seconds. Do not want a false start. Okay, so we're going to have Paul McConnell, Jake McLean, Jonathan Levitt for Harriton, Mark Lukens, Caleb Kelly, Joshua Levin for Plymouth Whitemarsh. The school record for the 100 freestyle for the boys was Alex Colastri in 2011, 45.9. So like it's Caleb Kelly checking first at about 24 seconds. Looks like lane 4's touchpad needs to be reconfigured. It was around 24 seconds, and Kevin Golubuski right now is going to touch it himself to make sure everything's working out. Caleb Kelly's going to touch first as he is coming on the home approach. And he's going to check in at around 50 seconds. So there'll be 6 points for lane 4. Second to lane 3. Third to lane 5. Fourth went to lane 2, 56.81. Fifth went to lane 6 at 58.5, and about minute 14 will be lane 1. So PW should pick about 9 points. Harriton should get about 7. I think PW boys right now has a comfortable lead. Possibly 55-35 or 58-36 depending on the scoring. Girls right now entering the 500 freestyle. Tight. Could be PW 48, Harriton 46. There could be a margin of error. That's how tight it is for the girls. So we're sorry if we do not have the correct score.
The correct order is 4, 5, 3, 2, 6, 1. Event 15, girls 500-yard freestyle.
We now have the girls 500-yard freestyle. It will be single laps, 20 single laps. So on the end of the pool that's near the exits, you're going to have lap counters. You're going to have swimmers with lap pads, and we'll be moving them after each time the swimmer touches it. You must touch the pad in order for that lap to count. This will be 20 single laps. The PW school record, Hannah McGee, 5 minutes 17.66, 2017. Qualified for districts, 5 minutes 24.91. Under consideration, 5 minutes 33. Now I believe there's a PWA official giving instructions to the lap counters. PASwimming.com is your #1 source for everything swimming in the state of Pennsylvania. Check out results from conference, district, and state meets, along with information about swim camps and the PA Aquatics Hall of Fame. Visit PASwimming.com. And then this is Harriton at Plymouth Whitemarsh, December 10th, 2018. This is our third edition of CITV Sports for the winter sports season. Had a great varsity doubleheader on December 7th to officially open Plymouth Whitemarsh Main Gym West for basketball, that is. Boys and girls posted victories. The girls defeated Norristown 48-10. The boys 66-61 with a 41-point effort by Florida State-bound Naeem McLeod. It was a ruckus atmosphere. There will be 20 single laps. This is the longest event of the afternoon. In college, there are longer races, including the 1650 free, which is the swimming mile. And now for the first lap. So lane 1, we have Sophia Rothman, 2, Melissa Ely, 3, Katie Lynch, 4, Abigail Thomas, 5, Emily Stewart, and 6, Julia Kaplan, 1, 3, 5 for Harriton, 2, 4, 6 PW. Now here are the first times after our first of 2 single laps. 30.27 is the lead time right now for Abigail Thomas. Thomas qualified for districts in this discipline last school year. 5:18.79 was her district time. That was 22nd out of 42. The top 8 at districts, 4:50.51 to 5 minutes 7.67. The champ, and a Kalandadze of Lower Merion, who also was the state champ. Kalandadze recently swam here a couple days ago. Lower Merion took on PW. Minute 2.94 after 4 single laps. First place for Abigail Thomas. PW in 6 lane individual events. Again, it's 6 for first place, 4 points for second, 3 for third, 2 for fourth, and 1 for fifth. Thomas about to check in for her 6th single lap. The school record again, Hannah McGee, 5:17.66 in 2017. By the way, Kalandadze of Lower Merion, her state championship winning time was 4:46.25, the PWA record. I want to mention Leah Smith of Oakland Catholic, 4:36.41 from 2013. That is quick. Now 7 laps in out of 20 for Thomas. Right now we have a small margin of error. The score might be PW 48, Harriton 46, so every second counts. It's not a race against the teams, it's a race against time. So 2 minutes 9.38, approaching the 9th single lap, close to the halfway point. Abigail Thomas way out in front. Second right now is lane 2 for Plymouth Whitemarsh. Melissa Ely. Third, I believe, is lane 3, Katie Lynch for Harriton of Rosemont, Pennsylvania. So now the halfway point. When we get to 2 laps remaining, there will be a cowbell or an air horn. So halfway through, 2:42.9. So you either want to save your laps for later on, or you want to go all out. But you don't want to go all out early, otherwise you'll let everyone catch up. Lane 5 is going to be about 2 laps behind, I think, Thomas. Now Thomas at 3:16.79, 12 out of 20 laps through. And now for the 13th lap. And while they're swimming, we'd like to congratulate the Plymouth Whitemarsh High School cheerleaders who recently earned a spot at not only the 2019 PIAA State Championships in January, also 2 bids to the 2019 UCA National Championship in Orlando, Florida this February. Congratulations to Deborah Tornetta and company. Now 14 laps about to begin for Abby Thomas. 3:50.79. Entering the 15th lap. Got a couple more go-arounds. Of course, when it comes time for conference season in swimming, PW has to deal with newcomer Abington, also Upper Dublin. Upper Dublin has won the conference, get this, 29 consecutive seasons, going for 30 in a row. And it'll be hard to dethrone an everlasting champs. 4:24.91 is Thomas in lane 4, approaching 17 laps. When she goes to the touchpad at lap 18, the PWA official will blow the air horn, which will signal final laps. Not only do we have the timers on the scoreboard, we also have coaches and also students with stopwatches just to get different times. And there's the horn signifying the final 2 laps for Abigail Thomas, 4:59.27. And to qualify for districts automatically, you need 5:24.91. It'll be close. Under consideration, 5:33 flat. Now, 1 lap to go. This is the final turn for Abigail Thomas, way out in front of the competition. I think in second might be lane 3. Katie Lynch, and now Thomas will check in at 5:33.31. So around consideration time. Lynch has 2 more laps. Wow, blew away the competition. Was 2 laps ahead of everyone. That's a huge 6 points for PW. Everyone is about 2 laps to go. Now Katie Lynch for Harriton, lane 3, getting her final lap. However, lane 2 came in second, believe it or not. Didn't see her. That's Melissa Ely picking up 14 points for PW at 5:58.11. Lynch coming in will pick up 3 team points for Harriton in lane 3 at 6:19.11. Now final laps here. Could be lane 1. And lane 1 will pick up 2 points. Lane 5 will get 1. And 6 came in 6 at 6:32.
The results are official.
Results are official.
Boys 500-yard freestyle. In lane 2, Justin Ruggiero. Lane 3, Sean Maloney. Lane 4, Jake Davis. Lane 5, Leon Petit. And lane 6, Samuel Krause.
As the girls do cool down laps, it will be time for the boys 500 freestyle. We'll have 1, 3, and 5 for Harriton, Paul McConnell, Sean Maloney, Liam Pettit. 2, 4, and 6 for Plymouth Whitemarsh, Justin Ruggiero, Jake Davis, and Samuel Krause. School record for the 500 free for the boys might be an untouchable record, Matt Golubiewski. Back in 2005, with a time of 4:28.02. He was a state champ in not only the 500 freestyle, but the 200 freestyle as well in both 2004 and 2005 in both of those events. So to qualify for districts for boys in the 500 freestyle, it's 5 minutes 1.75, and under consideration 5:10. The state champ in this discipline for boys in 2018, that was actually Rick Mim of North Allegheny with a time of 4:24.02. Lane 1 is not racing, so Harriton has lanes 3 and 5, which means Paul McConnell is not competing. So every lap is an individual one. 10 one way, 10 another. They count as single laps. Last school year, there were a couple of Rams who made the Central League championships in this event. Anthony Borges and Sean Maloney, they finished in 12th and 13th respectively. Justin Ruggiero and Jacob Davis were in districts, but they were a little slower than 5 minutes. They were in the bottom of the pack. So now approaching the 4th lap, 50 seconds in. PW leading by about 20 or so entering this discipline for the boys, so comfortable lead. Checking first was lane 2, 57.03. So good start for Justin Ruggiero. Ruggiero a little out in front of the pack, like Abigail Thomas in the girls' discipline. VW, I believe, in girls out by a few points. About 6-point lead on Harriton. That's unofficial. Now Ruggiero will check in at 128.45. Last year's district champ in the 500 free was Emil Jurkic of Kennett, who set the district record at 4:31.28. Be nice if anyone in this pool can get around that time. Right now, starting to call onto your screen in lane 4, I believe is Davis, Jake Davis. Also in third will be Sean Maloney of Harriton. 2 minutes, .8, currently the top time after 8 single laps for Justin Ruggiero. And now Jake Davis is starting to catch up. Ruggiero came in 39 out of 42 at districts last school year at 503.56. Davis 41st out of 42 at 504.44. Now Davis catching up to Ruggiero. Ruggiero halfway home at 2:33.68. Again, automatic qualifying time for the 500 freestyle in the boys, 5 minutes 1:75. This is a very tiring event. But in college, I believe there's the 1,000 freestyle and even the swimming mile, 1650. It's where you swim about 15 minutes. That can get exciting at times. That's 66 laps, but in high school, you don't go that long. And now taking the lead in lane 4 is Jake Davis, 3:06.33, second. Lane 2, Ruggiero. Third, lane 3, 3:13.56. Is Maloney. Now Davis starting to get in the groove. Now on his 14th lap, but don't count out Ruggiero. Everyone else close to a half lap behind. After this event, we'll have the 200 freestyle relay. 3:38.24 and then 3:41.24. So 3-second lead right now for Jake Davis over his teammate Justin Ruggiero. VW would like to be competitive this season in the Suburban 1 American, but the departure of Andy Thomas, who graduated this past June for Hapoel Horsham, could be a very interesting conference season. Upper Dublin, always tough. Abington, next first school year in Suburban 1 American could be tough. Wissahickon has some solid swimmers as well. You just can't count anyone out. 4:09.92 the leading time right now for Davis. Ruggiero second. 4:15.46. So about 4.5 second lead now. Or so. Now approaching the final 2 laps. The air horn will be sounded momentarily. Matt Golubowski's school record is safe. That was a heck of a day, 4 minutes 28. And he had 13 years ago. So 4:41.39. Ruggiero will be second at 4:50. So wow. About 9 seconds ahead is Davis. And the good news is there are a lot more swim meets this season, so more conditioning won't be bad and you'll improve your times. So Davis will pick up 16 points in first at 5:12.15. And lane 4. Right now approaching 5:20. Second will be Justin Ruggiero at 5:24.92. Third will be Sean Maloney, lane 3, 5:30.22. As the season goes on, you're going to see faster times. Battle for fourth. Fourth will go to lane 6 at 5:38, and at 5:39, lane 5.
The results are official. Event 17, girls 200-yard freestyle relay. In lane 1, Abigail Tevis, Ali Katzen.
It will now be the 200 freestyle relay.
IVG. Event 2, lane 2, Lane 3.
1, 3, and 5 will be Harriton. 2, 4, 6 PW.
And Tatum Maloney.
It will be the 200 freestyle relay.
Isabella Roberts and Sydney Scanapico. Lane 5.
So each swimmer will go one way, one direction, one way the other. And strokes will change after each swimmer.
Lane 6 is Alicia Cachadorian, Melissa Ely, Charlie Tullio,
At
and Lucy
Bro,
Sullivan.
Harriton will be wearing dark caps. The black caps, PW, will be wearing red. They'll be starting left to right and then right to left as the 500 freestyle boys will finish their cool downs. Now they're off for the girls' 200 freestyle relay. 4 swimmers per lane. Automatic qualifying time, a minute 41.29. Under consideration, a minute 44. The PW record, minute 41.51, set in 2014, which included Hannah McGee, who has essentially been a part of all but a few records. Now, PW was first by about 6,700 of a second at 27.01 in lane 4. Lane 3, second at 27.68. So right now, lane 4 for PW and the 200 freestyle relay should be Raina Hondas. Lane 3 for Harriton should be Tori Mueller. Mueller out in front of Hondas right now. Mueller getting ready to pass the baton to Elena Rossi at 57 seconds. The clock did not check in lane 3. So now we're minute 5 in. Now ahead in lane 3 right now is Elena Rossi. Isabella Roberts in lane 4. Lane 2 for PW, Sarah Thomas. Lane 6, Charlie Tullio, as we get to the anchor leg now. And a minute 24.03. Harriton, lane 2, second, a minute 28.39 for PW. Third, lane 4, minute 29.93. And out in front right now is Tatum Maloney for the Rams. Right now, seconds between 2 and 6 for PW. Thomas in lane 2, Lucy Sullivan, 6 for PW. And there will be 8 points here for Harriton. Maloney clocking in at a minute 51.6. So first to lane 3. Second will go to lane 6 at a minute 54.47. And third, lane 2, minute 55.10.
The results are official.
Results are official.
Event 18, boys.
We now go to the boys 200 freestyle relay.
In lane 1, Josh Pearson, Kyle Kane, Emmett Nafshi, and Jack Lynch.
Harriton in 1, 3, and 5. PW 2, 4, and 6.
Ben Uter and Jonathan Tavry. In lane 3, Jake McLean, Sean Maloney.
Harriton at Central League Championships last year came 7th out of 22 at a minute 32.67. PW qualified for states in this discipline in 9th place at states at a minute 26.24. That was after finishing 13th in prelims, just missed the A final
Lane 6, Joe Armstrong,
by a spot.
Kenny Cutler, and Jack Filer.
And they're off each swimmer. will be doing front crawl. Each will do a full lap, one way, one the other. To qualify for districts in the 200 freestyle relay, boys need a minute 34.1, a minute 33 flat, the school record. Minute 26.24, that was set earlier this year, 2018. First is lane 4, 24.43. The ones to do it, Bill Gallagher, Caleb Kelly, Nick Fiddler, and Justin Ruggiero. Lane 4 has Kelly, Rankin, and Ruggiero. Niles Rankin was not a part of that record. Now they are already halfway home. First was 46.64, lane 4 for PW. Now approaching a minute 1. Niles Rankin going to pass the baton now to Justin Ruggiero. And lane 4 at a minute 11.36. Don't believe that will be enough for a school record this time. Again, to automatically qualify, minute 30.41. Don't know they're going to get it this time. But it looks like PW is going to take first in lane 4 at a minute 34.64. Second, lane 3 for Harriton. Minute 37.28. PW lane 6 for a minute 40.1. So that will be 8 for lane 4. 4 in lane 3 and 2 in lane 6 for PW in terms of points. Gunning 5th was lane 1 at 2 minutes 9.39 and 6.
The results are official. Event
They're
19,
different.
girls 100-yard backstroke. In lane 1, Lucy Grover. Lane 2, Alicia Cachadorian. Lane 3, Tori Mueller. Lane 4.
Actually, there's a possibility that I missaw something, and lane 5 might have gotten third for Harriton. Now we have the 100 backstroke for girls. School record was Michelle Kudak for PW, 2011, a minute 2:21. So in lane 1 we have Lucy Grover, 2 Alicia Cachadorian, 3 Tori Mueller, 4 Mia Ruggiero, 5 Nazreen Boone, and 6 Maya Miramontes. Now we're going to be halfway home here. Looks like Ruggiero will be first at a 31.01. Qualified for districts in this discipline, a minute 1.63, minute 3.8. For reconsideration. And if the pace stays the same, there could be a record by a mere few seconds. Mia Ruggiero now, 55 seconds. I don't think she's going to get it. It looks like Ruggiero's going to get first. And a minute 5.63. Second, lane 3 at a minute 7.52. PW in lane 2 gets third. Everyone has concluded. So lane 4 gets first. 3 second. 2 third.
The results are official. Event 20, boys 100-yard backstroke.
It's now the 100-yard backstroke for the boys.
Lane 2, Riley Coyle. Lane 3, Francis Clarisi. Lane 4, Nick Fiddler. Lane 5, Liam Petit. And lane 6, Quinn Coyle.
So the PW record for the 100 backstroke for boys, Kyle Lukens in 2012, 49.63. To qualify for districts, 56.76 seconds or 58.9 under consideration. PW is in 2-4-6. Harriton 1-3. Kevin Zai, lane 1 for Harriton. Francis Chalissery, lane 3. Lively Coyle, Nick Fiddler, and Quinn Coyle, 2, 4, and 6 respectively for PW and the Red Caps. Nick Fiddler came 9th out of 41 in districts in this discipline last school year at 53.23. Here's Fiddler going to check in at 27.15. Which would be good pace right now to qualify for districts. In terms of the girls' scoring, could be 73-67 PW over Harriton. Boys, it looks like PW is way out in front. Checking in at 56.58. That will do it for Nick Fiddler. That is better than automatic, so Fiddler will be back at districts. 56.58. Second went to lane 2 at a minute 1:41. And third went to lane 3. Minute 6:39. Chalissery. I think lane 6 was 4th. And 5th went to lane 1. Swimmers will step up and the officials will tabulate the scores, the times that is.
The correct order is 4, 2, 3, 6, 1.
Now to the girls,
Event 21, girls
100
100-yard
breaststroke.
In lane 1, Nasreen Boone.
We have Nasreen
In
Boone,
lane 2,
Mandy Becker,
Sarah Thomas.
Gaia
Lane
Palazzo
3,
for
Mandy Becker.
Hatboro, or
Lane
Harriton
4, Jessie
for
Kaplan.
Harriton Rams.
Lane 5,
2-4-6. Sarah Thomas, Jesse Kaplan, Sam Suchland for Plymouth Whitemarsh. So Harriton 1, 3, and 5 in black hat. PW 2, 4, 6 in red. Angelina DeSanto has the record set in 2017 for PW. To qualify for districts in this discipline, the 100 breast, minute 9.9 or minute 13 under consideration. This was the lone event Harriton qualified for districts last year in girls. That was Natalie Agostini, a minute 9.27, 32nd out of 41. I do not see her name on the sheet. So halfway home, 34.67, lane 3. Mandy Becker. Becker way out in front right now of Jesse Kaplan for PW in lane 4. So it looks like Becker in control for Harriton. Every second counts. We'll pick up 6 huge points for the Rams in lane 3. We'll finish at a minute 14.29. Becker in 3. Kaplan will be second in lane 4. And a minute 22.14. Third goes to lane 5 at a minute 25.86. Fourth, lane 2. Fifth, lane 6. And sixth, lane 1.
The results are official. Event 22, boys 100-yard breaststroke. In lane 1, Jonathan Levy. In lane 2, Cameron Kuhn. In lane 3, Samuel Ebby. Lane 4, Niles Rankin. Lane
Now the
5,
boys'
Jason
100
Steele.
breaststroke.
Lane 6,
Pay
Alex
attention to
Williams.
Niles Rankin in lane 4. Last school year, he broke a 22-year-old school record for time of a minute .08. The previous record was Kurt Phillipson, a minute .62 back in 1995. And they're off. Rankin trying to become the first PW swimmer, male or female, to break 1 minute or faster in this discipline. He has the school record last school year, I believe, at the Cardinal Classic. To qualify for districts, you need a minute 2.66 or a minute 3.9. Rankin out in front, not a surprise. At 28 seconds. 28.67. Longer you're underwater, the better you are in terms of drift. Right now at around 40 seconds. It's going to be close. At districts last year, Rankin was 26 out of 46 at a minute 1.19. Here comes Rankin. 55 seconds. Not going to break his own record this time. But a minute 2.16. That is good enough to qualify for districts, so Rankin's still consistent. That's something Kevin Golubiewski has to be pleased, but if you want to do well and even go to states, you need to get a much faster time. In fact, Andy Thomas of Hatboro Horsham was the district champ last year, 55.96. The state champ, Josh Maffini of Upper St. Clair, was 54.55, so a lot more room of improvement. So first went to lane 4, second went to lane 3, third lane 5 in a minute 10.58, fourth lane 2, fifth lane 6, and sixth lane 1. As we head to our final events of the afternoon. Our next edition of CITV Sports is scheduled for Wednesday, December 19th, 2018. It'll be the first time we'll bring wrestling at Plymouth Whitemarsh Main Gym West. Suburban 1 American action between conference title favorite Hatboro Horsham and Plymouth Whitemarsh. Hatboro Horsham returning loads of talent.
The correct order is 4, 3, 5, 2, 6.
Now for our final girls event, the 400 freestyle relay.
3, girls 400 yard.
It is a huge event.
In lane 1, IDG.
It's about a 4-point difference approximately.
In lane 2,
I'm approximating 80 to 76 PW. That is not the official score necessarily. We might not be able to bring you the final scores when we sign off.
In lane 4, Charlie Tulio, Melissa Ely, Abigail.
But in the 400 freestyle relay, each swimmer will get 2 full laps, which is 2 one direction, 2 another before handing off.
And lane 6,
Harriton in black, 1, 3, and 5. PW in red, 2, 4, and 6. For head coach Mike Stolowski, his Harriton Rams need to have every second count. Okay, we have IVG in lane 1, Lauren Small in 2, Carolyn Yagadit in lane 3, Charlie Tullio in 4, Sophia Rothman 5, Ruby Bender in 6 for the first few laps before handing off. By the way, it's worth noting a competitor is permitted to swim 2 individual events and 2 relays, or 1 individual and 3 relays, 4 events maximum per meet. Now the first 50 yards. 28.05 is lane 4, 30.44 second lane 3, 32.2 lane 5. Out ahead right now in lane 4 for the Lady Colonials. That happens to be Charlie Tullio, who will hand it off to Melissa Ely when the time comes. The PW record was set in 2017, 3:42.02. Now we'll hand it off to Ely at 58.78. So second, lane 3, a minute 3:19. That means now in lane 3 for Harriton is Katie Lynch. Third, in lane 5, at minute 7:64. That would be Helen Kramer. Now halfway home for Ely. She'll check it at a minute 27.42 in lane 4. Coming up here is Katie Lynch, and she'll have a whole lap to go at a minute 34.41. About 7 seconds difference, so a sizable lead for the Lady Colonials. Third right now, lane 5, minute 41.44. You need 343.2 to qualify automatically for districts, 348 for consideration. And now halfway home are the Lady Colonials in lane 4 at 159.2, which means it's time for Abigail Thomas to shine. Lane 3, second, 2 minutes 8.22. About 9 seconds apart now between first and second. Here in the 400 freestyle relay, it's front crawl all around. Starting left to right, then right to left. And now we'll have another 50 yards to go before the final laps. 2:28.13 currently first, lane 4. 2:19 for Chile. That is way ahead now. 2:38.86, a 10-second lead for lane 4 over lane 3. It will be Mia Ruggiero check again for PW. In lane 4, as Thomas will pass the baton at about 3 minutes. So it's Mia Ruggiero way out in front right now. And now it's going to be Emily Stewart in lane 3 for Harriton at 3:14.35. That's about 13-second difference. Wow, a whole lap almost ahead. About half a lap ahead. And now the final lap for Ruggiero, 3:27.72. Does not appear the school record will be broken today. And district qualifying time won't be met here. You got to be a lot faster. 3:43.2. Wasn't even halfway done that lap when that time elapsed. But it's okay. There's plenty of time throughout the season for improvement. Mia Ruggiero will be the first to check in to get 8 huge points for PW at 4 minutes 1.24. That's first. And I believe in lane 3 for Harriton and Emily Stewart, also competing with others. And now final lap here for lane 2 for PW at 4:17.71. Looks like second place here for Stewart at 4:25.08. Wow, that's about 24-second difference. 4 points for Harriton. If PW can get third, I think the Lady Colonials would seal it by not a huge margin. Third place, lane 5, 4:44.41. So I believe the Lady Colonials might have won by about 6 or so. That is an unofficial score, possibly 88-82. Cannot confirm the official time. Fifth will go to lane 1 at 5:06.85. And in lane 6 for PW, Casey Blake finishes off 5:13.68, and that will do it for the girls. Unofficial score 88-82 on my end. That might not be correct, but it appears PW, maybe by the slimmest of margins, will pull away. And now our final event, the 400 freestyle relay for the boys.
4:3.52.16.
The boys 400 freestyle relay.
Boys 400-yard freestyle relay. In lane 1, Jack Lynch, Josh Pearson.
Of note, during the 2018 PIAA 3A State Championships, North Allegheny won it all with a 2:53.81. That not only set a PIAA record, but also a national record. So the high standard, 2:53.81.
In lane 4, Justin Ruggiero, Riley Coyle, Nick
The district champ last year in this discipline at 3:03.13 was Hatboro for boys.
Paul McConnell and Liam Petit.
1, 3, and 5, Harriton. 246 PW.
Bill Ellinger and James McGinnis.
Neither of these schools sent a 400 freestyle relay team to districts last school year. In the Central League, the top 8 times were 3:10:11 to 3:27:62. Harriton's at the Central League, PW Suburban 1 American. Harriton last year at Central Leagues and boys, 8th out of 12, at districts 27th. PW at districts came in 9th. And at states, 4-way tie for 17th. North Allegheny, a 1-way state champ with 301 points for boys. And this begins our final event. It appears PW boys ran away with this one. So we'll improve to 2-0 on the season. The boys, the girls, I think, defeated Harriton unofficially by the slim margin. So right now in lane 4 for PW, Justin Ruggiero. Lane 1, Jack Lynch. 2, Jake Weichel. 3, Michael O'Connor. Madden Armani in lane 5. Ben Tavery in lane 6. Each swimmer will get 2 laps of front crawl and then pass the baton. To qualify for districts for boys 400 freestyle relay, it's 3:19.49, 3:25 under consideration. The record was 3:13 flat in 2011. Kyle Lukens, Pat Kennedy, Brian Jedinek, and Alex Colastri. Lane 4 checked in at 53.07 in first, meaning now in the pool in PW. Lane 4 is Liley Coyle. Second was lane 3, 57.58 for Harriton. That's now Francis Chalissery. I believe the next PW swimming edition of CITV Sports will be in January 2019 against perennial Suburban 1 titleist Upper Dublin. As the Upper Dublin Lady Cardinals this season will go for conference title number 30 in a row. All right, now the second swimmer for each team, for each relay team. Lane 4 for PW getting ready to check in should be Nick Fiddler, who is going to Villanova after this school year. Bill Gallagher, who had done well last year, is now at Westchester. Time to time checks in with the current varsity team here. Second, lane 3, a minute 59.61, meeting Quentin Stoloff now in. And lane 3, lane 2 third at 2 minutes 2:06, meeting now lane 2 is Jimmy Ryan. Halfway home for Nick Fiddler, 2:13.16. Fiddler qualified for states in the 100 butterfly last year. Finished in 10th. So he is someone to keep an eye on throughout the season. Fiddler going to check in here and pass the baton now to Jake Davis at 2:46.1. That's the lead time. Way out in front. Second place is about half lap behind almost. Or close to a half. Or a quarter of a lap behind, that is. The lead lap is lane 4. Just about half a lap ahead almost. Now the final lap here for lane 4. Now 3 minutes 7:74. Probably will not break the school record of 3:13. Don't believe we'll meet district qualifying time of 3:19.49. That's about to surpass. Well, there's plenty of time to condition and prepare for that. But it should be PW picking up the 8 first place points in lane 4 at around 3:38. So lane 4 finishes at 3:38.31. I believe PW defeated Harriton in the boys team event. So 2-0 on the season will be the Colonials. Second will be lane 3. Job well done there for Sean Maloney. That was a time of 3:52.94 for Harriton. Lane 5, I think, is going to pick up third. Or not. Everyone's well behind. I think lane 2, that is, picks up third with a time of 4:07.86. In lane 2, that time finishing off was Dean Suchland. So first, second, and third have been claimed. Now 4th, 5th, and 6th still in the pool. Lanes 1, 5, and 6 need to decide the times. Lane 1 will be on his final lap. Lane 5 will check in 4th at 4:37.18. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe PW girls might have defeated Harriton by less than 10. Plymouth Whitemarsh boys have won by a large margin. 5th went to lane 6 at 4:52.19. Now lane 1 will finish it off, and that will be it for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in here. Make sure you check out the CITV YouTube channel on youtube.com and search Colonial Instructional Television for sports, school board meetings, educational highlights, and more.
The order is 3-5-1.
So that will do it here from Plymouth Meeting. That's another edition of CITV Sports. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. For more information regarding CITV programming, visit online www.colonialsd.org/community/CITV from the PWHS pool. So long, everyone.